What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat, proud member of the CLNS Media Network. Make sure to hit subscribe to the Pat's Chat podcast, to Pat's Press Pass, and turn on notifications for when a new video drops on the channel. Also, subscribe to the Pat's Chat podcast, send a review, do all those fun things. Michael, how are we doing?
I'm good. Should we tell everyone the big news?
Sure.
We're going to Netflix. This is our last free one. You got to sign up for the premium Netflix level tier. You need Netflix Plus to get our.
I didn't even read about that. I just saw a headline about it, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That's good. It's good for the podcast industry, I guess. Also, it's our last podcast because I'm going to win the Powerball tonight.
Oh, really? How much is it up to?
1.25 billion, I want to say.
Oh, that's pretty high.
So you get, I think, 570 straight up cash. So no one will ever hear from me. If you don't hear from me again after tonight, that's why. It was a pleasure doing business with you all and you, Doug. But that'll be it for me. I'll be off to an island on a yacht.
All right. Well,
actually,
wish you luck in that endeavor.
What would you actually do? Because I think I'd honestly just sit in a chair and like stare at the wall for a little bit and be like, oh. Right? Like I wouldn't be extravagant. I'd just be like, oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't think I'd buy like a private jet.
No.
I'd probably buy like a nicer house in a town closer to a major city.
Yeah.
I'd probably that would be Boston, probably closer to Boston.
Not to be gaudy, but I'd probably upgrade my 2011 Civic. We'd probably, get it a little closer to the current year.
That's fair. I might keep my truck. But yeah, I don't think I tell myself I wouldn't do things crazy differently, but I might. I don't know.
I would just be happy to like pay off my student loans and mortgage, and then that's it. I go about life. I go to the grocery store and be like, I'm gonna get the nice stuff that's not on sale. It'd be great.
The Patriots play the Ravens this week. Listen. I'm a little concerned about the Patriots, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not going to probably do like the Schick edge matchup, whatever, that they used to do on ESPN back in the day. But the Ravens theoretically can run the ball. And
yeah,
the Patriots have had issues with that. Their injury report at practice, not encouraging. So yeah, it definitely is I wouldn't say worried, but it's a shaky week in terms of just not really playoff implications or AFCs, just confidence reestablishment. It's a pretty big week.
Yeah, and listen, this team is already 11-3. As we've mentioned 1,000 times, they have exceeded expectations for what anyone thought this season would be. But expectations were low because of the Patriots roster heading into the season. And I think depth was something that was viewed as an issue coming into the season. And now when they play without Milton Williams and Robert Spillane and Will Campbell, that lack of depth is exemplified. And I think that's a big reason why the Patriots lost on Sunday against the Bills. And Milton Williams is not coming back against the Ravens. Robert Spillane was in a walking boot today. He's got an ankle injury. I don't know what his future holds this week against the Ravens. But if the Patriots are playing the Ravens without Milton Williams and without Robert Spillane, I don't think the run defense is just magically going to be solved and better.
Open it up with a Rick Pitino take here. Milton Williams isn't walking through that door.
Milton Williams he can't walk through that door.
Robert Spillane is not walking through the door, and if he is, he's gonna have a boot on his left foot.
I don't know. So I truly don't want to play into the whole like the Patriots are fraudulent. They only have the record because of the schedule they faced, all these different things, because they earned that 11-3 record. But I also think that you'd be whistling past the graveyard. I think that's the right phrase. If you didn't at least acknowledge that this team has not looked as good since, let's say, like the start of November as they did during the beginning portion of their winning streak. They sneaked by against the Falcons. They barely beat the Bengals. They didn't do much in the second half against the Giants. They lost to the Bills. Obviously, there's still a winning formula there because they won most of those games. But I think that you saw a few little concerning trends there that reared their ugly head against the Bills, and how you hope that that doesn't continue and get worse now against the Ravens, the Jets, the Dolphins, and into the playoffs. I'm
Uh,
just trying to speak truth. I don't want
hmm.
to
Well, I'm not
blow
gonna.
smoke up anyone's rear end.
We're not gonna do Jets Dolphins worry at this moment. Like
That's fair.
those are not concerns. I think where I'm at is similar to last week. Is what I said going into that game. They did it for a half. Did not do it for the second half. You're gonna have to outscore the other team, and that's going to
Yeah.
be a 60-minute offensive showing. That's going to be like the defense is what it is right now. And we've said it since June that the roster was not deep. And as you're starting to see injuries, which happens in football, I don't know if you're aware, injuries
Yeah.
you're going to run into some, and they just don't have the depth to to make up for it. So, like Derrick Henry is going to be a problem Sunday night. Lamar Jackson, though he has been
He's been
someone
pretty
else
bad.
this year, could spring a couple runs on you. Like the running game is going to be an issue. I'm not really that concerned. I mean, Zay Flowers is great. Outside of him, there's not it's not an explosive receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
I just think you're going to have to go out there and say Drake may be the MVP, and you're going to have to say, "Hey, Josh McDaniels, remember how you have 4 wide receivers? Use all of them, not just Mac Hollins. You know,
Right.
they're going to have a better game offensively. And if you think of it that way, and you think of them best case scenario, it's really not that concerning. They should be able to do that. But given what just happened 3 days ago, I'm not good at math. You have to at least be concerned that it could sort of snowball.
Yeah, I think the second half trends that we've seen from the Patriots offense, I don't know how you explain them. I think some of it is that Josh McDaniels just gets a little bit more conservative. But in the second half of games since the beginning of November, Drake May has 1 passing touchdown, 3 interceptions. The Patriots, I believe, have 4 touchdowns in the second half of those games, and 3 of them were 50-plus yard runs by Trevion Henderson.
In the best drive, I read this in the Herald today,
Was against the Jets.
was against the Jets. Can I read? Can I quote this
that is
writer?
their only extended touchdown scoring drive in the second half of games since week 9. I know that that's kind of like a random cutoff, but that's
Well,
kind of the way
it's a
these
trend.
things work. It's a trend.
And so this writer I read in the Herald, he had a lot of EPA in there, and it was crazy. Just even
Yes.
Drake May's first half completion percentage in that time was like 76%, and second half was like 59%.
Yeah.
So pretty crazy. And
His EPA per play is negative in the second half
Yeah.
of games. Yeah.
So here's a quote from a writer, I forget his name. The most concerning game was obviously against the Bills, but the Patriots have scored just 4 touchdowns in the second halves of games since week 9, and 3 of those were those long touchdown runs from Henderson. They've only had 1 longer extended touchdown drive in that span, and that came in the third quarter of their win against the Jets on a 6-play, 69-yard drive. So that's a bigger issue than I guess I realized. It was anecdotal until Doug Kyed of the Herald sort of took a magnifying glass to it. So it's a real issue.
It's
And
interesting that a team
it's a
where
weird
Mike
one.
Vrabel preaches no naps,
They take a lot of naps.
they take a lot of naps.
They're
I guess that's why he's
nappy.
preaching it, but it doesn't feel like they're able to consume that message. I don't know.
Yeah, no, a lot of sleepy time tea
Yeah.
in the Patriots locker room. So it's a weird thing
Honk shoe.
because if you look and you say, oh, they're weak at left guard, or they're weak at receiver, or they're weak but they're doing so well in the first half.
Right.
Nothing really changes in the side. Like the concept, I think by this point everyone knows there's no such thing really as a halftime adjustment.
Right.
It's not as if the coaches get on the whiteboard and everyone's sitting in chairs at halftime like, oh, coach,
Yeah.
what can we do to stop? Like, it really, changes are constant in the NFL.
Mhm.
They have the tablets. They're constantly evaluating. So it's not as if they're getting figured out at halftime. They're just playing worse.
Yeah.
For various reasons. So I don't. It's a weird one to talk about because how do you identify it and really get deeper than that?
It's hard to. And we have a question here from Jeff Dockett, who asks, why are we freaking out that we lost by 4 to a great team? I just think that's who we are, that our offense can score, and we hope the defense can make a play. Listen, I wasn't freaking out on Sunday. I'm not sure if I'm freaking out even at this point, but if you were to freak out, it's the manner in which they lost.
And
where you have a 21-0 lead and then you lose by 4. You basically lost. I don't know. Like it's that makes it feel worse. It has to.
yeah, it's also got a little loud there. The Buffalo Bills in 2025 are not a great team. They're not.
Right. Like Josh Allen
got
is great. Like Jeff made a good point. Josh Allen played like an MVP,
Josh
and
Allen's great.
Drake May played like an MVP in the first half, and he didn't in the second half. And maybe that's just the difference. Maybe Drake May takes snap. But like, once again, I'm not trying to freak out. I don't think I am freaking out. But
yeah,
the manner in which the Patriots tried to put together those fourth quarter comebacks also was ugly.
Yeah.
Outside of the Trevion Henderson run, and I don't know. I think maybe I'm just thinking too much of. This is the same team that lost the Raiders. It's the same team that lost the Steelers. And I don't believe that 10-game winning streak was a fluke. But when the team is so Jekyll and Hyde, where in one half they'll look like a team that can put together a 10-game winning streak and beat the Bills, and the other half they look like a team that can loose the Raiders and turn the ball over 5 times against the Steelers, that's where you do get a little bit concerned.
I would answer that question thusly, in that at halftime, I provided some football commentary that Sean McDermott was coaching that game as if he was facing the 2023 or 2024 Patriots, and he was just waiting for them to lose it because he was punting on the plus side of the 50 twice. He didn't challenge the Keyshawn Boutte catch. He was just really passive with the way he was coaching, as if to say like, oh, just wait them out and they'll lose it.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought that was such a foolish way to go about it, because these Patriots, I thought, and they had shown that they were different. So to lose after that, I thought was jarring. And that's why you have the reaction. And that's why you sort of have, this isn't a Sunday at 1 buried on the slate game. This is a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching. You used it. So I'm going to quote you. You threw the F word out. You mentioned fraud somewhere. You said you don't think they're frauds, but you still brought the F word out. Like, that's coming out if they lose on Sunday Night Football when Cam Newton comes on First Take. I'll check his schedule when that is. And, people got their fangs out.
Yeah.
And so that's what the Patriots test is this week is, to your point, are you that team that won 10 in a row, or are you the one that blew a very winnable game with stakes in December? Like, this stuff all matters.
Yeah. And I think this game will do a good job of deciding what the expectations are when they inevitably get into the playoffs, because I can't imagine a scenario where they don't make the playoffs.
It's hard. It's hard to do.
Really hard to do. A lot of things would not have to go their way. But
do you want to do make the playoff update?
They make the playoffs with a win or tie.
But miss the playoff update. Like what it would take to miss the playoffs. I think they'd obviously have to lose out. So 11-6.
And then
there's a bunch of teams that could get there. Yeah, the Colts would have to win out to finish 11-6, and then whatever the tiebreakers are. And Houston would have to keep winning.
Yes. I think the Colts and Texans would basically have to win out, right?
Pretty much. No, the Texans are 9-5. The Texans are 9-5. They probably do face each other. Yeah. So the point is, I think we're going to talk playoff football in a month. I think it's going to happen. I feel
it would be a wild turn of events.
You also might get
for the second time in the last 20 years they won 11 games and missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
How crazy is that they missed the playoffs in 2008?
So I have a broiling take about the 2008 Patriots that I'm glad we finally get to cover here in Pat's Chat.
Yeah.
They didn't deserve to make the playoffs because every important game that year they lost. Yeah. They lost to the Jets at home in overtime. They lost. I'm trying to do it off the dome, but they beat a bunch of bad teams. I'm trying to remember some other big games, and unfortunately, it's past 9:00 on a weekday, so I have to look it up. But they lost at home to Pittsburgh. Remember, they got blown out when Wes Welker got blown up by Ryan Clark on a rainy day. They lost at Indy 18-15. They lost at San Diego. It was like all these games against good teams where it's like if you won one of them, I think they went 0-5 in big games. So
yeah, that's fair. That seems fair.
That's my take. They did beat the Arizona Cardinals 47-7, who then went on to go to the Super Bowl. True. So maybe my take is off. Maybe my take is askew, but that's my 2008 Patriots take.
I have one other leftover thought from Patriots Bills. I think that if both those teams stay good, and maybe I made the same point on Sunday, but it's been accentuated since then. If both those teams stay good, this has the potential to be like the biggest rivalry in, I don't know, like the current, certainly currently the NFL, because like Bills and Patriots fans are just both so ruthless that
It's been pretty
like
nasty.
like I can imagine at some point, or if this rivalry continues, the two sides being like, we're gonna meet in New York City and have like a battle royale. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be like a purge
It's a
between these two
great
fan
point
bases.
because it was
Because
never a
like,
fair fight during the Brady years. He went what?
no, but like Bills fans, I give credit to them because they were like legitimately hopping in every Patriots fan and media members mentions, just going absolutely nuts
Yeah.
over this win. And then Patriots fans can always be like, you guys don't have a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
And then, but then that makes the Bills fans even angrier and like more ruthless and going for the throat. We're like, this is going to be bloody. This is like, if both of these teams stay good, this is going to get real messy.
I would agree with that. And I looked it up. Our guy, the guy that used to play, Tom Brady, 36 games against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
He lost 3 times.
Yeah. They
That's
really had no
crazy.
chance to ever say anything.
And
So
one of
now-
those was a week 17. Brady played the first half.
right.
Garoppolo played the second half. So not a real one. So there was never
Bills
there was
fans didn't care enough about the Patriots from
well
let's call like 2020 to this season.
well they
where,
did
like,
they
it really wasn't that messy over the last 5 years either.
they cared and they reveled in beating the crap out of it. Like I said, it wasn't a fair
Right.
fight. So it wasn't a fair fight for 20 years. It wasn't a fair fight for the past 5 years. I think there is a little tinge. I get a lot in the For You tab, a lot of the Bills and Patriots fans fighting. That's right.
Me too, because I can't help but click on it, then it just keeps feeding it to me.
Yeah, and I would say this one I think there's a tinge of, I don't want to say fear, but I would say the Bills fans have their backs up on the potential for Drake May to be great.
Yeah.
And that could be good. Like Josh Allen's going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
Drake May theoretically is going to be there for a while. Like this could be a 10-year rivalry. I like this. I like the concept. I will say I might close the social media tab a little more often if that's the case, because it's a bit messy.
It really gets a little messy. I think I would agree with that. I somehow got involved with it briefly.
Oh yeah,
on Monday and had to delete some tweets and move on with my life.
Really?
Yeah. So
what'd you delete?
So there was a Bills radio guy who like came out like real strong about the comments that Vrabel made on EEI about like how he just wants officiating to be even, basically.
I thought Vrabel handled that perfectly from my perspective.
Bills fans did not think so.
I'm sure.
And Bills media didn't either. And they were like going nuts over it. And I quote tweeted the guy to just be like, hey, like I don't think I said this exactly, but basically like, as a journalist, I kind of like when people are just open and honest and don't give cliches, which is what Vrabel does. And I appreciate him for that. And I don't ever really want to criticize someone for not giving cliches if they're handling it the right way. And then he responded, and then a fan responded to his tweet calling me, I think, a Patriots fan who was crying, which like, I never would have seen that. There was a Bills fan responding to him. Then he mentioned me and then responded to be like, every game has calls go both ways, blah, 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 blah. Like things that as a logical human being, I know. So then I tweeted back at him. I said, why did you tweet this to me? And then I had like 15 Bills fans being like, why are you so rude? Blah, blah, blah. Like, why? And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I like truly just wanted to know why he decided to at me and then give his little monologue about how every game is evenly officiated.
Yeah. I would say this. There needs to be sort of a separate room for people that can talk about officiating, which is a huge part of sports.
Right.
Like adults. And then everyone that's just like, you're crying. It's like, nope.
Yeah.
It's an important discussion about the game because they play a pretty significant factor. It is an annoyance, I would say, but until we get that separate room, it's just you got to deal with it.
Yeah. So I didn't even like, all I said basically was just like, I don't know. I kind of like when coaches are open and honest.
Well, I would add this, Doug. I
And then
had
I got accused of crying and
well,
being a Patriots homer. I don't know.
clearly, like there will
So
be
I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I deleted the "Why did you tweet this at me?" tweet.
there will be a play like say someone will trip someone blatantly,
Right.
and you'll tweet it out and be like, they
Yeah.
missed a trip here. Like you're crying, not
Yeah.
crying. Just a missed call is being identified. I would say this though. I had in my notes. I had very few notes for this podcast. But one thought I had in the past few days was that a Bills Patriots AFC Championship game would be marvelous. I don't know if it's possible with the playoff seeding. Probably not. If you just,
I mean, it's like I'm sure it could be figured out, but yeah, the way that the season's expected to go might be tough.
just because you have like the AFC East winner is going to be the 2 seed most likely, and the
Right.
wild card is going to be 5, 6, or 7. Like maybe
Right.
it's not worth. I guess. All right, I'll do it. Let's do it out. Ready? Let's say the Broncos get the 1 seed, right?
Okay.
They're in. So the Patriots play Houston. Let's say the Patriots win. Buffalo gets Jacksonville in the divisional round. No, in the wild card round. So no, they would need Buffalo to, or the AFC East wild card would have to get the 5 seed. So then you play the AFC North winner in the wild card round, and then you play like Denver in the divisional round.
Yeah.
And then the Patriots. Yeah. So unlikely, but that would be a picture of that, because you have on one hand a Bills franchise that just wants to win a damn Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's like the last year of their stadium. The Patriots
Yeah.
had that, you might recall. That would be the drama of the Patriots standing in their way. Like I thought back in 2020, it would have been great if the Bills finally made the Super Bowl and then Brady beat them in the Super Bowl. That would have just been like the meanest thing of all time. This would be a fair fight. I don't know. I wouldn't pick a winner. It would be great theater.
It would be great theater. Yeah, if these two teams played again, I think the Bills would have to be favored based on the way that second half goes.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked me a question in the mailbag. Who do you think Vrabel would rather play in the playoffs, the Texans or the Bills? I think you got to go with the Texans, even though the defense is so good, just because like the Bills have already shown their ability to beat you. Whereas, and like obviously you can beat the Bills too, but I might be totally off on this, but Sunday's Bills win felt more decisive than the Week 5 Patriots win.
It's just so hard when the first half was so dumb.
I know.
It was a total laugher.
Yeah.
And then it was a total collapse. So I guess you could make that point. I just think it's Houston because you talk about whistling past the graveyard. Everyone's just hyping up the Texans, and their defense is awesome, and they've won some big games.
Yeah.
Their offense doesn't do a whole lot for me.
Right. Yeah.
The strategy seems to be chuck it deep. Maybe Nico Collins will get it. And other than that, hope the defense can get you good field position and you can grind it out. Like they're lacking whatever Stroud had 2 seasons ago. He's yet to sort of recapture that. And they're just, I don't know. Nick Caley's there, right? Like he seems to be really figuring it out, to put it nicely. So
Yeah.
I think that's the playoff matchup you'd want in your building.
I agree. Yeah.
Not to say it would be easy, but I don't think either one is easy.
I think there's been some tweets that ever since CJ Stroud had the moment with Caleb Williams after that game where he's like, "You're gonna have a great career," blah blah blah. It like ever since then, Stroud's career has not like it's gone downhill, and that was like a very funny moment to pull to do that as a second-year player, the rookie.
Don't worry, young man.
Yeah, you're gonna be a great kid.
I was 22 once.
I'm like 2 months younger than you.
Yeah, it's a tough offense to watch. It's a grind. So
Yeah.
I think that's the game you want, and then hope your offense does enough. But we're a little bit away from that. We'll do that during Jets week. How about that?
I think we might have talked about this. No, I don't think we did actually. The Stephon Diggs playing time against the Bills, in retrospect, was pretty bizarre. So, and I don't want to keep harping on the Bills game, but obviously it's a big thing. It's finally something different happened for the Patriots.
It's what
but
they
the
have
Patriots
to fix
offense was on
right
the field
now.
for what was that?
It's what they have to fix right now today.
The Patriots were on the field for 52 offensive snaps, and Stephon Diggs played 26. And I think they really wanted to mix different personnel packages because we saw Thayer Munford on the field for 10 snaps. We saw Jack Westover at fullback for 8 snaps. We saw Kairos Tonga at fullback for 1 snap. We saw a lot of pony packages with Ramondre Stevenson and Trevion Henderson sharing the field together. We saw Kyle Williams for 5 snaps. We saw Demario Douglas for 10 snaps. And all of that essentially meant that Stephon Diggs was going to be on the field for half the snaps. Is there going to be a more motivated human being in Foxborough, Massachusetts than Stephon Diggs for that game? Probably not, right?
Maybe Mac Hollins.
Or maybe like
for some reason. I'm not sure
some
why.
Bills player going against Diggs. You know what I mean? Like, but no one in a Patriots uniform. So it just feels really weird in retrospect to be like, you know what? Our best wide receiver, just to prove that the wide receiver unit strength is the unit, we're going to take our best wide receiver out the field for half the snaps. And we're going to lean on Thayer Munford for, like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to diminish what they were able to do because they did do some good things with those mixed personnel packages. But like when you're taking Diggs off the field for Austin Hooper and Thayer Munford and Jack Westover and Kyle Williams and DeMar, it's just like at a certain point, maybe you are, I don't know. I using, I think a quote that Vrabel gave on EEI, just like maybe a little too cute at times.
It's a continuation too, because you had Diggs with 9 catches for 105 yards against the Jets.
Right.
And then immediately he's had 3 straight games with 50% or fewer of the snaps.
Yeah.
And he's not hurt.
Right.
He was a little, was he dealing with, a hip during that time?
He said today that he's fine.
Yeah. I mean, he's not injured.
Right.
He's banged up, hurt like a football player in December. So
he said he had a broken finger, but that was a while ago.
That was a while ago. I don't think that impacted him.
But he was coming off the bye too. Like there's no
right.
Maybe you're like easing the knee, but you don't do that against the Bills. You do that with the Jets and the Dolphins coming up.
It is strange. He's had 11 targets the past 3 weeks after having 11 targets versus the Jets.
And he had 12 against the Bills, 10 catches, 140 something yards. Like he's shown the ability to be a game breaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Patriots were barely on the field in the second half. So it's really hard to like fully assess what went wrong. But when you're not picking up any first downs, like it's kind of like everything was wrong.
Yeah. I would expand it to not just Diggs. I just think we talked about it Sunday, so we don't need to completely harp on it, but it's like you didn't throw to wide receivers in a football game in the NFL. It's crazy.
Demario Douglas didn't do anything.
I think Mac Hollins had 8 targets.
Hollins had a bunch
of targets. Booty had the 1.
Yeah.
And it's just nonsensical to play any game. Even if you're up, passing is running now. You know?
Yeah.
A pass is not a risky trick play.
Especially with May at quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, the most accurate quarterback in the league. A 7-yard slant is not a risky play. It's part of it should be part of that. So I'd expand it beyond Diggs for Sunday. That part of it just smelled.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine, with I don't know. I want to say like he had such a good first half. Josh McDaniels, everything he didn't do anything wrong.
I know.
So I don't know. They need to square it away, and it's a weird thing to talk about and identify because you're like you did it and then you just stopped doing it.
And I think as a whole, McDaniels has been great this season. But it's also worth mentioning that the Patriots scored 1 touchdown in the second half, and it was a play that was going absolutely nowhere to the right side that Trevion Henderson, on his complete own accord, decided to do a 180, run the other way for 65 yards. So even the big play, even the big touchdown, even their only successful play in that half was a broken play. The play did not work.
Mm-hmm.
Trevion Henderson made the play work by running the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And you had some gotta have it's where you didn't have it.
Did you see the comments from Tom Curran yesterday on WEI?
I saw people tweeting about them. I didn't actually see the comments themselves.
So I think he was. I guess I shouldn't. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't paraphrase if I don't know the exact quote, because then what I'm saying might get taken out of context and then get my friend Tom Curran in trouble. So I'm going to try. So Jones and Keefe tweeted, "We asked Tommy Kern if there could be a real decision on who the offensive coordinator will be next season, and his answer was, I don't know." Um,
I need
if
the
that's the
tone. I
case,
need the
if that's
tone.
the case, I think it's crazy. Josh McDaniels has done more than enough to be the offensive coordinator next year. You don't want Drake May to have 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. Drake May has developed so well under Josh McDaniels that even as bad as the next 3 games could go, I don't think there's really any world in which there's a better option for Drake May next year.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I said this before, and it sounds naive. I don't think McDaniels is in the mindset to be chasing head coaching jobs right now.
No, no.
Maybe, and maybe that's naive, but I also don't think
Right.
teams will be pursuing him for
No.
that, no matter how good the season
Yeah.
has been. I guess the crux of it and the insinuation would be that there's a friction between the head coach and the offensive coordinator, that it was like an arranged marriage.
Right.
It's this is where you say this is an odd time to bring up stuff like that. Look at the
Right.
big picture. Like
Yeah, and
it
like
was a bad
even
week. It was a bad game. Like Drake May was bad Sunday. Could I go on to you and be like, Doug, is there going to be a change at quarterback next season?
right. I think like even if it was an arranged marriage, I think we're kind of insulting Mike Vrabel if the inference is that like he would still be grasping onto it was an arranged marriage. I got to get out of this. Like he would have the wherewithal to be like, this is working. Why would we make this? Why would I change this? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This would be, I guess, if you want to go down that road, you'd want to talk to someone that covered the Titans toward the last couple years of Rabel's tenure when, I don't know. I feel like the AJ Brown trade was like the breaking point of
Right.
Vrabel and control of what the team was doing, and I don't know where that would fit in that, but I think it's just odd timing to sort of, if that's what we're going to harp on right now.
It is. Let's take a break real quick and talk about Prize Picks because Prize Picks is great. It's fun. Uh, we've been doing slightly poorly at it, but we're going to fix that this week. But this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. It's true. Bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, Patriots-Ravens. It's all happening at once. Well, you and I are out here making decisions every day what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch. There's one place where it feels good to be right, and that is Prize Picks. I would say one of the biggest decisions I have to make in my life is when to stop buying presents for people,
Yeah.
especially my daughter. But that's always a tough one. But on Prize Picks, let's pull up the Patriots-Ravens matchup and make some picks that will win us prizes.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
That sounds about right. We are very good at this, despite what you said.
Derrick Henry, more or less than 78.5 rushing yards.
I gotta like the more than. I mean, that's how we started this podcast. There's some questions about their ability to stop the run right now. That seems to be what the Ravens are going to lean on. So I'd say more than.
So Lamar Jackson is 31.5 and Keaton Mitchell is 22.5. Do you like either one of those as well?
31.5.
Yeah.
Let's check his game log.
He's
only gone over that once in the past month and a half. I'll take the less than.
I might just not touch it. I might not touch it.
He doesn't look like the spry young MVP that he used to look like.
That's fair.
He looks weird.
Do you feel strongly about any Patriots players in this game?
I just feel like they're in a point you'd want to say Henderson's hot.
I know.
He might get 11 carries for 21 yards next week.
I know.
So I'm not sure how that works out. I'd like to get into maybe, do we have total punting yards? That's where I would like to. Big fan.
I don't know. We've got sacks. I'm not feeling very strongly about.
I don't know what sense do you get where they're going to lean this week offensively?
I kind of feel like this is a week where you almost have to lean on Diggs.
I got a different one. I got a different thought.
What's yours?
I just feel like this offense, when it's been at its best, Kayshon Bouttie's been a driver.
That is true.
It's been a
So
minute.
so Booty's 33.5.
Yeah.
You're
That's one
taking
play
more?
for him. Yeah.
That is true.
That's one catch.
All right. So this is two. This is two picks.
Okay. Can we
It's
screw this up?
$20 to win 60. I think we gotta reset. Go with two picks. I'm hitting submit. I like this. We're going with Derrick Henry and Kayshon Boutte.
Did we check the weather?
I haven't. I probably should for myself since I'm going there.
Yeah, I'll check right now because if you watch Monday Night Football, the weather in the Mid-Atlantic can be, well, Pittsburgh's not the Mid-Atlantic, but let's see. I
So
just got stuck in.
Baltimore.
Oh, it's gonna be warm. It's gonna be 49 on Sunday.
Nice.
Kickoff, it'll be cooler. It'll be 30, but
That's
be
not
nice.
bad. Yeah, I've got 51 on AccuWeather. So I don't know if I already said this, but I'm flying to Baltimore at 11:40 on Sunday.
Oh, that's so fun. That's so exciting.
I know.
That's like you're gonna be like revving. Are you even going to the hotel? Or are you going straight to the stadium? I don't know how the layout.
Depends on if my flight's on time. Like it lands at 1:15, so I'll probably go to the hotel and then go to the stadium.
Oh man, what if you're delayed? There's gonna be like some thumping in the chest. That's
it's
awesome.
gonna be. I'm gonna be playing Run Run Rudolph running through the airport.
People don't do that enough.
Or
People
in
don't...
Home Alone, yeah.
They're like, sir, you've been doing this for 30 minutes. No one's entertained. People don't do that enough. They don't take risks. They don't feel what it's like to feel
alive.
I think
the one in our family that we call, I forgot what we even call it. But you know the Mannheim Steamroller version of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen? It's like dun 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 dun.
Oh, I thought that was
dun.
I always thought that was Trans-Siberian, but that doesn't make sense.
It's not, it's
But
Mannheim
yes, I
Steamroller.
got you. Yes.
So that, like, if we're in a rush to do something, we'll play that. And
that song's intense.
It's intense. It's yeah. Did I tell you about when we went to the Polar Express this weekend?
No.
So you know how they do the Polar Express in Buzzards Bay?
Vaguely familiar. I've fortunately avoided such activities in my life.
So it's like a train on the Cape. Elves come through, Santa comes through, based around the Polar Express, all that kind of stuff.
Hot chocolate, perhaps?
Hot chocolate. So even though we've done this multiple times before, I was in Hyannis. So we drove down to Hyannis. It was like 1:20. It started at 2. I was like, oh, we have time to like stop and go to the bathroom, all this kind of stuff. I pull into the address that I have for the Cape Cod Railroad. And there's nothing. There's not a parking lot. There's nothing. And I said to Jen, my wife, I was like, what's the address? And she's like, oh, it's 7 Main Street, Buzzards Bay. Buzzards Bay. Buzzards Bay is about 40 minutes from Hyannis. The train's taking off at 2. It's 1:20. I am booking it. Oh, back over the bridge. Jen calls to be like, hey, do you think we're going to make it? They're like, probably not. I'm like, we're warning Olivia, hey, we might have to do this another day. We're so sorry. Blah, blah, blah. We drive up. It's 1:59 when I pull in the parking lot. And we get out of the car. Jen starts to explain. And they're like, what's your last name? And Jen gives her own last name. They're like, all right, go to train car B. Go to train car B. Run. We'll give you your tickets. And then like I'm sitting in the driver's seat because I think I have to park. And they were like, just park here. Just park here. It's like on the side of the sidewalk. And we made it. It was a Christmas miracle. But just for all the people in the future, if you Google Polar Express Cape Cod, it's going to give you an address in Hyannis. That's not the address. It's in Buzzards Bay.
That is nowhere near Hyannis. That is on the other side of the canal.
Yes.
Did you get to go over
deep into the other side of the canal?
Did you get to go over the railroad bridge though? Did you go into the Cape
on the train?
Yeah.
I actually don't know where it goes to the North Pole, so it goes really far.
Oh, it goes straight up.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I did. My grandparents had like an anniversary once at the Newport, one of those.
I bet they had a bunch of anniversaries.
And they did, but this particular one, it was a train dinner celebration sort of thing. Wow. They did in Newport, so the whole family was there. I got on the wrong bridge in Newport. A lot of bridges down there. Yeah, I went to school 15 minutes up the road. There was a bridge there. So I got on, I think there's the Pell Bridge. and there's the Newport Bridge, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I got on the wrong one.
Oh no.
And one thing about being on the bridge, you can't turn around.
No.
And they're like $11 in tolls. So
Oh
I had to
my God.
go all the way on and then I had to figure out a way back. And it was the same thing where the train was like pushing off,
Yeah.
if that's the right term. Is that that's sounds like the right term. That's a boat term, but whatever. They're starting like the steam's blowing
Yeah.
out of, and like we're like running and getting on the door, and we made it. So that was fun though. It was entertaining.
We went to
That's going to be
Newport
you
recently.
Sunday.
Newport is so far away.
No, it isn't.
It's like over an hour for me. I don't know. Yeah.
It's not that far.
Feels far,
It's
I
not far.
guess.
You know what
You
it
think
is.
of Rhode Island as being like 30 minutes away, at least for me, and Newport is not 30 minutes away.
Usually we save this for, later in the podcast, but this is like every time I drove to and from school in Rhode Island, Roger
Yeah.
Williams, shout out Roger Williams, you got to take 24 north, and then I think it was 24, but either way, you got to get on 195 for a quarter mile. So you're getting on a highway. You got to get 4 lanes over in a quarter mile to stay
brutal.
on the highway that you were on.
Yeah.
And it's just the most dangerous, idiotic design. You could even you wouldn't even conceive of that. You're like, well, you can't do that. Let's build an underpass or an overpass.
Yeah.
Let's build something other than get on 195 for a quarter mile and go 4 lanes to your left. You'll be fine.
I also contend that Rhode Island drivers are the worst in the country. No offense to all my Rhode Island listeners. I've probably said this before. They do this thing in Rhode Island where they'll come up from the right, from behind you, and then just like veer in front of you to pass you on the highway. It's just like, I don't know that you're there. I cannot predict your movements. You have to get in front of me and then merge over. You can't do it from behind.
You know what? I think all drivers in all places are bad at driving, so I never buy into anyone being the worst drivers.
Middle of the road Mike over here.
No, I think everyone is bad. So take that.
All right, so back to the Patriots. We'll get into our other driving gripes in the future, but yeah, I just maybe I'm overreacting to Week 15, but I do think there are some concerns about this team this season. I think that it brings everyone a little bit back down to earth, which, as I mentioned last week's show, probably a good thing, because otherwise, if they've beaten the Bills 48-14, everyone's going to be talking about Super Bowl or bust.
Can I ask you about that, though?
Yeah.
Because as I was combing through our podcast and posting it on our various channels, when you say it might be a good thing that they lost, you meant that in terms of outside expectations not getting inflated. Like, it's not good for them.
Like, no loss is good. No loss is good, but I do also think that they might have gotten too big of heads. If they
did. You think they did?
I think they could have.
Okay. So
I think that if you destroy the Bills, you might just kind of feel untouchable at that point.
What if you destroy the Bills and then have a letdown against the Ravens? It's probably better.
Well, in the long term, yes, because then you win the division and then have the letdown.
Yeah, you can sort of write it off as a week off. I have a question for you about the injury report.
Yes.
We're still in year one. I've said this before. We're still in year one of the Mike Vrabel.
It's tough, yeah.
So how much of that is Vrabel and staff managing players, and how much of it is, that guy might not play? Because the list includes Carlton Davis, Christian Ellis, Marcus Jones, Harold Landry, Robert Spillane, and Christian Barmore, who's not injury related. But the 5 guys there, when you already have Milton Williams out, it's like, well, should you even go to Baltimore?
So I don't want anyone to think that this is reporting. This is just purely me going off vibes on this one. So please don't take me out of context. This happened last week. He played anyway. I'm waiting to see on Marcus Jones and Carlton Davis, but those, since they both finished the game, feels like, not any sort of reporting whatsoever, feels like it could be like veteran rest, but we will find out more on Thursday and Friday.
It would be weird for veteran rest to come after a game after a bye week. I think.
Sure, but it's late in the season.
Yeah.
So I'm holding out the possibility that those are veteran rest. Landry, we've already seen it. And then Ellis is an illness. Christian Ellis
Yeah.
is an illness,
Yeah.
which you don't want to downplay, but 99% of the
I
time when a
mean,
guy goes on the injury report with an illness, he's over it by Sunday.
I'd also say this if you got the scales. I'm so
Yeah.
much bigger than you. Like I need a doctor to fix my camera. Anyways, on the scales of justice or
Yeah.
whatever, you have Christian Ellis missing practice due to an illness, and you have Lamar Jackson missing practice
Right.
due to an illness. I think the balance is tipped in Baltimore's disadvantage on that one.
Can we, maybe it'll come out after his career's over, but like, what's the deal with Lamar Jackson's immune system?
Yeah, a lot of illness.
Doesn't
I
it
don't know.
feel like every year he misses practices due to illnesses?
Yeah, one time he pooped during the game. It was a whole thing.
That's
Remember?
what they think. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he is like, feels like he's barely practicing at all this year.
Yeah,
What a
I haven't-
weird down season for him.
Really weird. Just doesn't look like the same guy.
Right.
And he's not old. What is he?
No.
28? 29?
He's not old, but I think that if you're on the smaller side like Lamar Jackson is, and if you are such a good athlete and you play a bunch of football games, you're bound to get a little bit more beat up. I'm certainly not saying that the Lamar Jackson era is over in Baltimore by any means, but like
Doesn't look good right now. He's
that
28.
that's the concern when you do have a smaller guy who runs a ton and so much of his value. I mean, he's not. I shouldn't say that. Like he's a much better passer than the mobile quarterbacks of the past.
He threw 41 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, like he's not this. I don't mean to criticize Cam Newton, but like Cam Newton was never the same type of passer as Lamar Jackson was.
Yeah, and we weren't really super tuned into it. It was a pretty big story nationally. There's a good case that he deserved the MVP last year over Josh Allen.
Right. Yes.
That's how good of a season he had last year. So
Yeah.
it's just jarring to see just a
Yeah. And
gross
yeah, I
year.
don't think that's like this steep decline. He was injured this year, so that probably has probably plays a big factor. What'd you think of Cam Newton getting kind of mad that Phillip Rivers made a comeback before he did?
I think I've said this. I'm consistent in this. Cam Newton is good at being the guy that talks on TV and gets people riled up. I don't know what to tell you. Like, did he make a good point? No. Was it logical? Was it smart? No. Was it entertaining? Yep. Did it piss people off? Yep. Like he's good at doing that. I don't. Am I a genius for seeing? Like it's not a complicated.
No, it's true.
Not a complicated thing. If you can say stuff and get people mad about it,
it's
have
weird
succeeded.
saying about yourself, but I guess like he's playing the wrestling heel when he does that.
Yeah, and I saw a clip of him today. Who was it with? I forget, but
you damn well know what show it was on.
I have a schedule synced with my calendar, so I know what show he's on. But he was talking about how someone said he's the only black quarterback on TV. And then he's like, yeah, and I didn't get the Tom Brady or Tony Romo deal. I'll tell you that much. And it's like, you're also not a color commentator on games, on major networks. You are on First Take but maybe other shows. So, but guess what?
Did he want to be a color commentator?
I think he wants the Tom Brady money.
Right.
I don't know what he wants to do. But so the point is, it was going crazy. Everyone was mad.
Yeah.
And do you know what my reaction was? There goes Cam Newton again.
Yeah.
Getting some tweets and viral,
It'd be interesting
viral moments.
if he was a color commentator. I wonder if he would adjust his approach.
I don't know.
So Robert Griffin III is no longer on TV.
I don't believe he is.
Okay.
Yes. I don't want to be mean to Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps he'd like to do Pat's Chat if we could get him on one of these days. That'd be great. When he talks about Josh McDaniels being a genius, and he's done it this year, he'd be like, oh man, you go to New England. I had never pointed out the mic before. And it was like, oh, what were you running? You know? So could he be a good color commentator? I bet he could be an entertaining color commentator. Yeah, but would he give you the insight that theoretically you're paying the big bucks for?
Remember how good Aqib Talib was at it?
He was great. Then he got into some trouble. And I think that ended abruptly.
Yeah.
Those games, because he always got like the F game on Fox.
Yeah,
and it was always like the St. Louis Rams against the Texans or something. And you're like, they'll just throw Aqib there. He'd wear a nice suit and would be himself.
Yeah, it was great.
Very, very odd for someone to be able to pull that off. Very rare, I should say.
Do you think Brady's gotten better?
I do. Because
interesting.
I've watched a lot of those 4 o'clock windows. he seems to be having more fun.
Hmm.
Whereas last year he was like, I got to be perfect. I got to do this and that. And he was just
Yeah.
kind of boring and lame. I have a nuclear take.
I do, just on Brady real quick, I do wish that he would finish a sentence because he just always keeps talking like this and then he never finishes with a period. It's just a run on. I just wish he'd like just close the thought. Just close it up.
He talks like JFK on Clone High back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Yeah.
too deep of a cut. I have a nuclear take.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to say it, but it was annoying last year.
We're in a safe space.
I don't even think it's. I don't think it's negative. I want to start by saying it's not negative.
Okay.
I don't think it's some great American tragedy that Greg Olson got bumped to the number 2 spot on the Fox lineup. I don't think it is the crisis and tragedy that so many made it out to be. And granted, like, was Brady the best? Is Greg Olson the great? This
Right.
is a job where every game you get a big third down here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman's one of the best of all time at it.
Yeah.
They'll go to replays like, watch this pass here. His tight end cuts in and gets open, makes a nice grab, and it's a first down. This is not, the most important critical job in the world. You just got to be calm and cool and
Yeah, I
not
could
annoying.
understand Greg Olson himself being a little perturbed about it, but I don't know if it need to be a huge thing. I will
There
say,
were marches.
I think
There were marches on the Fox headquarters in Los Angeles in honor of Greg.
There was a January 6th for Greg Olson. I
Yes,
remember
exactly.
Yeah.
They stormed the Fox building.
Yeah. I think someone tweeted this. I forgot who it was. I just saw it. Pissed off Troy Aikman might be the best color commentator because he was real pissed off on Monday night that the Dolphins were like huddling when they were down by 25 points. And I was right there with him. I was like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I think Mike McDaniel just wanted to bench Tua. So he was like, we cannot win this game.
I don't think so. I don't think they could run a hurry up effectively, to be honest with you. I think at that point they were struggling, and I don't know, that offense stinks.
Tua played. He was one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen this season on Monday night.
Yeah. I mean, the pick, they were driving, they're moving, and that was just like no pressure, throws it off his back foot and lets it slip out of his hand and just
no velocity whatsoever. The 2 10+ yard sacks he took too. It's just like,
get rid of the ball.
What are you doing?
Running backwards.
You're running backwards 30 feet.
Yeah.
10 yards is 30 feet.
He was getting smoked on those somehow too. Surprise of the night, and this is Patriots related because they're going to come to New England on week 18. The Dolphins were thumping. They seemed more comfortable in the cold than Pittsburgh did. They just didn't have a quarterback. I think any other NFL quarterback in that game might win the game for Miami.
Dolphins run game is really good. And they put like 4 guys in the backfield. It's crazy. They're like bringing it back to Navy days.
Miami.
It's the wing T back there.
Well, when you don't have a quarterback, but just the way that defense was hitting, I'm trying to think of some like there was just some thumps. I think it was Bradley Chubb might have had a big one. Like
Chop Robinson chopped a guy in half.
Yeah, who had the personal foul, which Troy Aikman was pissed about.
That was Jordan Brooks. Yeah,
which I saw it happen. I'm like, wow, I can't believe they didn't throw a flag. That's always a flag. And then they eventually threw a flag, and Troy Aikman's like, well, that's ridiculous. And I'm like, it's okay to feel that way, but it is the rule. You can't flex and stand over and stare down at someone.
Also somewhat Patriots related because they're probably going to make the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers can barely play quarterback at this point. He was actually pretty good in that game, but I think his average depth of target was 3 yards.
Yeah, he doesn't look good. And he took a third down sack where it's just like, man, his body is not able to do the things that are necessary to win.
His brain still can. The 12-man on the field play was great. Quick pass to Pat Freiermuth, but beyond that. Yeah.
So spin zone ahead of time. You lose this week. The Jacksonville Jaguars tie. Maybe you want the 3 seed so you can play the Steelers. However, you are incidentally helping the Ravens catch the Steelers if you lose this week. But you might be better off in that 3 seed. But then, you're playing with fire. Yeah, but Pittsburgh in the wild card round would be a nice gift.
It would, as long as you don't turn the ball over 5 times.
Yeah, 4 you're fine.
They really would have been fine with 4.
They would have won with 4. It was just like literally one too many turnovers. But yeah, I don't know. There's a weird thing, Patriots wise, that also came up Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And this dates back to multiple head coaches and multiple regimes and multiple quarterbacks and all that. And maybe it's silly to compare them, but they lose a lot at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
It is
6-0
weird.
on the road this year.
Road Warriors.
And they've lost a lot of games. And it's hard when you
Crowd
go
was
4.
fired up on Sunday too.
Yeah, it was a good crowd. It was a good game. And then they pooped it away. So I don't know. It's hard to compare it, I guess, to some 4-13 teams.
Yeah.
They lose a lot,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I
know.
was doing the Joe Murray show before I came on, and he was like, "Why are they? Why is their losing? Why is their record so bad over the last few years in December and January?" And it's a good point, but it's also like, well, those teams were just so bad. So yeah,
Yeah, I would say late in the Belichick era, it started to get weird because it was always like after Thanksgiving for 20 years, they were a 950 winning percentage or
right,
whatever,
yeah,
and it really dipped. But you had a multitude of factors as he got worse with the roster. The quarterback play was bad. It is hard to sort of find trends, but I don't know. The home thing,
yeah,
as you look ahead to the playoffs, like you theoretically would want the 1 seed, even though it's a 10% chance of happening right now.
right,
I don't know. I don't
yeah.
know.
Being on the
Do you?
road, not the worst thing for the Patriots, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got 2 in a row at home and on the road. See how they do against Baltimore and the Jets.
I don't think we really touched on it Sunday, but like the juxtaposition of the Broncos being home underdogs against a good NFC team and the
Yeah,
Patriots being underdogs at home against a good AFC team and the Broncos sort of, I would say, exclamation pointing their win. It's
yeah.
going to be, I feel like they have the Jaguars this week, so they have another
Right.
big test. So I
I
don't know.
still
Maybe
don't
it flips
fully,
this week.
I still don't fully buy the Broncos. Do you?
I don't like their quarterback, but
I
I
know.
really like most everything else about them.
Offensive weapons, not too, not going to keep you up at night.
Well, I know Dobbins has been hurt. Harvey's been good.
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, the receivers,
I
not
don't know.
terrifying. Yeah,
Just feels like you could keep up with that team despite the defense.
I guess so.
Sean Payton's a
You like the
good coach.
coaching. You like the
Yeah,
coaching. It's
yeah.
a factor in the
And Knicks, I
experience.
mean, who knows? If Knicks continues winning, then like maybe you get into a situation where he can win me over. But right now, I'm not fully won over by Bo Nix.
Nor am I,
Yeah,
but that'll be a good pregame. As you rush to the airport, you can get the Broncos,
it's true.
Jaguars. The slate of games this week is rough. Should we warn the
Good,
people?
good.
You will not be missing out as you
Yeah, I won't
travel.
miss out much.
Because I looked at it and I was like, should I take my kids skiing Sunday? That's how bad
Wow.
the slate is. This is what's going to be on TV in New England. Buffalo at Cleveland at 1:00, and then Pittsburgh at Detroit, which is like okay. And then
It's fine.
Fox in New England, you'll get Jacksonville at Denver, which is
Yeah,
okay.
that's pretty decent. Yeah.
Fox's 5 games are Chargers at Cowboys, buh. Vikings at Giants, buh.
Yeah.
Bucks at Panthers, surprisingly competitive, not that bad. Jags at Broncos, and then Falcons at Cardinals. So,
Interesting. Steelers Lions is a CBS game, right?
yeah, that's on pretty much everywhere except Jacksonville, Houston, Las Vegas, and Indianapolis.
Yeah, so that game, so Steelers Lions, Jags Broncos, and then
Oh, I always like to do this.
Chargers Cowboys, Bucks Panthers, yeah. And then yeah. Oh, so we've got wait. Oh yeah, we've got
Uh,
Thursday game and 2 Saturday games. Yeah.
oh, the Saturdays. That's why it's so bad. I got excited because I like to look at the 506 maps, and you can see why games are randomly in cities. It'll be
Right.
like because the quarterback
In
played
like
college there.
Wyoming and the Bills, yeah.
So the whole country gets Steelers, Lions, except for the other game, which is Vegas and Houston. So that's
Mhm.
most of Texas. But then there's 2 other cities. I'm like, why is it Indy and Jacksonville? And it's just because Houston is in the AFC South, and so
Oh yeah.
that's too
That's
bad for
interesting.
them. I'm sure they would prefer to watch another game.
Saturday at 5, Eagles Commanders. I don't know if that
Tough.
one's going to really push the ratings, but Rams Seahawks on Thursday is a stellar game, and then Packers Bears on Saturday. Drake May still second in MVP odds.
Yeah.
It feels like it would take a little bit for him to win at this point, but if he can string together 3 wins in a row to finish off the season, maybe he still has a chance.
Yeah.
Something because I'm not totally won over by Stafford or Allen, but feels like that might be that's dipping down a little bit. Travion Henderson, offensive rookie of the year, trending upwards.
Yeah. I on the Stafford thing, like not to be, I don't know what the word, like not to be a dick, not to be an idiot. He's gonna throw 44 touchdowns. Like he's gonna win the MVP.
Right.
I don't think like you could make 10 different cases for EPA or whatever,
Yeah.
passer rating. He's
Right.
gonna throw 40 some odd
Yeah.
touchdowns for a high profile. Like they're playing tomorrow night.
Yeah, on Thursday night. Yeah.
It's in Seattle, so there's gonna be some challenges. They won't have Devontae Adams, which is crazy because I
That
think
is kinda crazy.
I think he has all 40 of those touchdowns this year. But
A big fantasy guy now, so you know that.
oh no, I just every time I watch the
No.
Rams, Devontae Adams catches a touchdown. Doesn't he have like 16 touchdowns? Did I make that up?
That seems high.
All right, 13?
I don't know.
Well, now I have to look it up, Doug. Devontae Adams, who has a Taco Bell in his house.
I thought he had like
14.
10.
His 14
14.
touchdowns.
Wow. You
That's
win.
crazy. Which brings me to my next mid to late aughts Patriots take.
Yeah.
And this is a crazy, crazy thing. That Randy Moss set the single season touchdown record with 23 touchdowns in 2007. And since then, we've seen an explosion in passing. We saw a year when Stafford and someone else threw for 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
We saw the rules change in real time. You can't hit the quarterback. You can't touch the receivers. And still, no one has come close to 23 touchdowns in a season.
It's true. Yeah.
How is
Pretty
that
wild.
possible? Like,
It's really crazy.
What are we doing?
I
Like
know.
that, like what Randy Moss did in 07 was obviously elite, special, alien type stuff.
Teams hadn't figured out cover 2 at that point.
Oh, he was uncoverable. But
I
like
know,
you've
it's true. I
had
know.
Calvin Johnson enter the league since then. You've had Larry Fitzgerald. You've
Right.
had Antonio Brown. You've had whoever. I mean, he's not really your tall receiving.
You've had N'Keal Harry.
He's very large. There's just so many guys and so many teams that are just all geared to catching touch. So Devontae Adams had 18 in 2020. That's the closest anyone's come since 2007.
That's crazy. It's truly wild.
Jamar Chase had 17 last year. No one's had 20 other than Jerry Rice a million years ago. Crazy.
Can I give a real quick take too?
I'm glad I got to I'm glad I got to unload on that.
I'm glad you got that out.
Yeah.
The Rams play
Yeah.
Thursday night this week and then Monday night the next week.
Really?
It feels like kind of an unfair advantage if every team doesn't get that. Like that's you might as well have a bye week at that point.
Yeah, they should make them play Saturday in week 18 just to make up for it.
Right, like it's Sunday is fair, but like I don't know, Thursday to Monday, doesn't that just seem like a slightly unfair advantage late in the season?
No.
I don't know. I guess not.
It's negated a little because you're at Seattle and at Atlanta.
Well, LA and Seattle are pretty close to each other.
Yeah, but you still gotta travel.
I guess that's true.
At a night game in the middle on a short week.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad.
I have one more take. We were
Okay.
talking about driving earlier. I wanted to save this because we were talking about driving for too long earlier.
Good
You
call.
know when you're on the Mass Pike and there's like 10 miles between exits
Sure.
and you miss an exit and you're like, God damn it.
Well, not
There's-
me. I don't miss exits, but sure.
There should be an idiot button to press where like midway through, it's just like, you can do a U-turn here. Just take you up and around. You can do the U-turn. When it's that long in between exits that missing it's going to add like 30 minutes to your commute.
Yeah.
There's got to be an idiot button to press because I've done it before.
That happened to me in Maine. I think it was in like
Well,
Wells.
it happened to you on the bridge. There should have been an idiot button on the bridge.
I deserved that. There should be no bailout for the bridge thing. Like this was also like pre-GPS on your phone. Like you had to look it up on MapQuest beforehand. So I like thought I knew what I was doing, but obviously it was a little off. I did it in Maine once, getting on. I call it Interstate 95 personally, not the Maine Turnpike. However, I call I-90 the Mass Pike because I'm from Mass.
Yeah.
But I got on the Maine Turnpike, and it was a long time ago. You had to pay the toll to get on. Accidentally got on North, and I think it was like next exit like 17 miles, like from
It just,
wherever.
it completely wrecks your entire day.
Yeah, I lost a half hour there just
Yeah.
driving up. I had to pay the toll twice, and you're just
Right.
you feel I feel it, but I also feel like I deserved it and learned a lesson when I did that.
That's fair. All right. Well, we got a lot of nonsense out. We talked a lot about a lot. So I think I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Everyone got their money's worth.
I have the comments up on the side. Can you bring up the last comment from Eric Emy?
Yes.
Once they lose to Ravens, the real panic will set in because they won't play anyone else good the rest of the year. And the next game will be them getting cooked in the playoffs. I think it'll be fascinating because the question earlier was why is everyone panicking because they lost to a great team? If they lose on Sunday, like that is like there will be people running around with their heads on fire, and you won't have that opportunity to prove
it's true
to like sort of undo it because you're going to
Right.
play the Jets, who start every game down 21-0, and then you're going to have Quinn Ewers on the road in week 18.
Are they going to have Brady Cook and Quinn Ewers back to back?
Yes. If Quinn Ewers even lasts until week 18.
I don't know if he will. That seems wild that they're starting him over Zach Wilson. I guess like you might as well just to see what you've got there, but I don't think that's going to last.
No. So it's an interesting, like that's what's at stake. That's how we started this podcast, sort of.
Is anything funnier than national reporters, even like I don't know the right word. I'm losing the right word right now. But like when they tweet the possibility of a Tua Tagovailoa trade, like it's not happening. He's guaranteed like $51 million.
I think the cap hit's like $70 million if he's not on the team next year.
Like he's either gonna get cut or they're just gonna keep him around in the Kirk Cousins role where you pay the backup too much because you can't cut him. But like no one's trading for Tua at $51 million.
No.
That's not happening. He's not worth that much money. Even if you get like the Dolphins would have to throw in a first round pick for someone to take on that contract. It's not happening.
His salary next year has already been guaranteed.
Yes.
At $54 million.
$54 million.
$54 million next year, and he carries a 56.4 cap million. If they trade him before June 1st, they still take a $45 million cap hit. Yeah. And if they trade him after that, it's admittedly less. It's $13.4 million. Who's trading for Tua Tagovailoa next July?
No one. Like no one.
That contract was bad news. And
yeah, well, I was talking about this I did the Bill Barnwell podcast this week, and
you're a busy man.
I am too busy. Bryce Young is going to be a very fascinating case study where like when Bryce Young's contract comes up, he's probably not going to be worth $60 million. So can the Panthers convince him that he's only a $33 million quarterback? Or will his agent be like, no, I can't let you sign that because then that's going to reflect poorly on me. So then does he just become a free agent? Do they franchise him? Like you can't sign a physically limited quarterback to a $50, $60 million contract at this point because of what happened to Tua.
Right.
So I don't know. It'll be fascinating.
We get to have these conversations next year.
Yeah.
We get to plot it out. But Tua signed a 4-year contract extension worth $212 million with a potential upside of $221 million.
And it's gone about as poorly as possible.
Yeah.
Because now you're in that no man's land where, I don't know.
Maybe one thing,
Mendoza or something.
He does play in Miami. He
Yeah.
does 8 games a year there, unless they give up one to play in Europe. But you get the idea. One thing is if you want to win when it matters, you're probably going to have to play a cold game.
I know.
It's probably going to be cold when you're playing. Like even if you play in Tennessee right now, it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
Everywhere but Miami and indoors is going to be cold. So at a certain point, you should probably realize you need a quarterback that can win when it's chilly out.
Yeah. I thought about the Steelers as being an option for Tua once he gets cut, but I don't think you can do that. It's too cold.
Chargers, they got their quarterback. Ram, maybe he could be a Stafford backup for a year and then
maybe
get a job.
Reclamation.
Yeah. No one's trading for Tua. It's just antithetical to how teams run their business.
Yeah.
They're not looking for a guy making money, even as in any role. They're looking
No.
for a rookie.
This is a long way of saying I think Mac Jones is probably get traded for too much this offseason. The Dolphins might convince themselves about Mac Jones. The Steelers could. Some team out there might trade for Mac Jones.
He's a valuable backup.
He is.
I'd call him a quadruple A type quarterback.
It's fair.
Because you'd watch him be effective in those Niners games, but two things stood out. The arm strength, I think, has gotten worse. Some of the throws to the boundary and downfield are just like, get there.
Yeah.
And then the other, still not a physical specimen. There was that game where he like literally died on the field, and then Purdy still wasn't ready the next week.
Yeah,
and he
you
was
might have to like bank in 3 to 4 starts missed. Yeah.
Yeah, just I don't think he's built to be a 17-game NFL starter.
Yeah.
But valuable backup.
For sure. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.